I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
Hi, little guy. All right, let's get down to business. Let's talk about what we are going to do to help you live your exceptional life. Let's start first with our new listings, which who knows if they're even still available. I doubt they are because these hit the MLS last week, but we have Karen Curtis, who had a new listing in Orem at $499. It was an investor special. Let me tell you that. Special is the right word for it. And then also Carrie Dye, who had a new listing hit the MLS at the end of last week in Payson for $230. Is Carrie on the line with us?
I didn't see her or Karen, but they both are actually available still.
Oh, they are both available. Okay.
I'm here.
Excellent. Tell us about your new listing.
Oh, well, the cap rate on this thing is amazing. Yeah, it's not so amazing, but this is the deal. He has 6 tenants that are wanting to stay. He hasn't raised the rent since 2015. Do the math, 6 years.
Wow.
So his cap rate is currently like 6.5%. If he raises that, it's not ideal, but for this strong market, it could go up to, I think, 9, which is like unheard of right now. So, yeah, it's a great, and we're just kind of seeing, we got an inspection beforehand and posted that to the MLS. So we only have serious people that come our way. And that's the listing. It's great. It's a great space. It just needs some work.
Little TLC. Excellent. Okay. And then Carrie Dye, are you here today? All right, you guys, I don't even know the last time that we only had 2 new listings in a week. So it's great. It's a great conversation to have because we're going to talk about listings and mindset and all of that kind of stuff right now. Hopefully a lot of you listened to the Ninja podcast, but I took some great notes in case you didn't. So let's talk exclusive looks and sneak peeks. So who has something coming up on the market? I think this is part of the podcasts that we listen to, talking about reaching out to other agents and finding new ways that we can kind of get a leg up on the market. And exclusive look is a great way for us to do that for our sellers who maybe are too nervous to list because they don't want to list unless they have someplace to go to. But what a great opportunity for us to put it out to just our agents in our company. And that's 700, almost 800 agents that will have their eyes on that client's listing before it ever hits the MLS. So what have you guys got coming up that we need to know about, that we need to have our eye out for?
I have one coming up.
This is Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about it.
It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house on 0.26 of an acre in Orem off of 600. Completely remodeled, outside redone. They're putting sod in today. New kitchen, new flooring, new paint, new bathroom. Everything's really great on it. It's super cute little house, and we'll be listing it for $325.
That's awesome. And it's in a great area. You could walk to my house from this place.
It is. It's a super cute little area.
Don't you want to live that close to me, you guys?
Find
Awesome.
clients close to you.
When did you say it hits the MLS, Mary?
We're aiming for Thursday.
Okay.
What is the square footage on that? And is it 3-bedroom?
It's 2-bedroom, 1-bath. There is like a dining room area that we were talking about could be converted into a 3rd bedroom, and he almost did it, but we decided to leave it like the 2-bedroom that it was originally. You'd have to put up a wall and a door and whatnot, but anyways, it is 1,200 square feet, and it does have a little basement with a crawl space down there, like a little tiny basement with a fridge and a crawl space.
Awesome. I saw Karen Curtis's hand up. Was that on accident, Karen, that you raised your hand?
No, I'm old, but I'm not that old. I have a listing coming up in Saratoga Springs, and it is amazing and beautiful. It's 3,200 square feet. It's going to be in the 600s. The seller is an artist, and so she has all of her art on the walls. It's unbelievable. And they've done all the right things, like updated everything, painted everything, all new landscaping. It's so pretty, lake views. So that'll be live actually next Thursday, and we'll have an open house a week from Saturday. So it's exciting.
That's awesome. Okay. That sounds like a good one too. Who else? All right. Couple of announcements that I have been reminded that I need to make. Let me pull all of these up. Okay, so we have our summer client appreciation event scheduled for July 30th. We're doing it at the Sierra Pool. They are much more economical and have a much larger space that we can use. So we're going to do it at the Sierra Pool. Right now we're allowed between 600 and 700 people, which typically we get between 600 and 700 people at our pool parties, but they think it will open back up, which means we can invite even more. We are going to do pizza. We're going to do cotton candy. Guaranteed Rate Affinity is throwing $300 towards our pizza that we'll be handing out to our clients. And we are looking for a sponsor to do the cotton candy machine. So if anybody has a home warranty company that they would like to reach out to see if they could take care of that, or a builder, then that would be fantastic. If you want to participate in our client appreciation event, send Elisa an email and let her know. Right now, we're sitting at about $130 per agent that participates. So it's a fantastic deal. And remember that this is a way for you to reach out. This is a conversation that you get to have with your sphere of influence. It really doesn't matter if any of them want to come and swim. It is a reason for you to reach out and give back to the people that are in your sphere of influence. So it's for, probably about 150, probably less than $200. You are going to be able to have a really great opportunity to market and reach out to your sphere. And it's always fun. If they do show up, it's always a blast. So put that on your calendar and email Elisa. Along the lines of Elisa, she wanted us to remind you that if you have a cancellation, you need to still submit the buyer's notice of cancellation to Transaction Manager. That is what triggers them to know that they need to send the earnest money back to your client. So please, please remember, when you have a buyer's notice of cancellation, to still put it in your loop and then send to Transaction Manager. Just click that button and send it off to Transaction Manager, and then we'll be able to get their earnest money processing quicker so we can get that back to them. A couple of other things to be mindful of. We have coming up on, I may have forgotten the day now. It's either May 4th or May 5th. We have an opportunity to volunteer with Habitat for Humanity on a house that they're building here in Orem. Michelle created a Google Doc. We'll have her post that again to the Facebook page. It's been a week or two, but we have spots for volunteers there. You guys, that's always so much fun. And I believe we took the morning shift, and we're going to be putting up siding is the job that we'll be doing. And this is open to all of our agents. So if you're interested in coming out and volunteering with your fellow agents, it'll just be agents from our office. It's always a blast. So, and it's certainly a good cause. So watch for that.
I have
Sorry.
a question. It's May 5th and May 6th, 8 to 11:30. And then Jenny's got her hand up.
Oh yeah, I just was wondering, okay, for the part of the pool thing, how many people could we have for that, for our, how many people can we invite?
So the way we typically do it is we usually have between 15 and 20 agents, and we just let you invite as many people as you want. So our agents usually just reach out to their entire sphere, and then between all of those agents, we get, between 600 and 700 people. So we haven't ever limited it, and we don't say you have to buy X amount of tickets. We just split the cost, and it's open to everybody. So yeah, so you can invite everybody in your sphere.
Awesome. Oh, and then for the Habitat, if I did a shift just barely, am I able to do another one or no?
Yeah. No, absolutely. This is just exclusively for Coldwell Banker. So if you've done a shift with other organizations, that's okay. Sign up and come with us. Should be fun. Okay, a couple of other things. I'm so excited, you guys. We're going to have a live class in our office. Stacy Staley is coming down on the 19th. I believe it's the 19th of May. Now I'm questioning myself. The 19th of May, and she's going to do a live class. We're still tossing around ideas and topics that we want to do, but put that on your calendar and we'll send out more information to you as we get a little bit closer. But we're so excited to have her live and in person, and we can be together and do a live class. And then also mark your calendars for May 14th. We are going to, GRA, Guaranteed Rate Affinity, our mortgage partner, they're going to sponsor a hike for us. And so we're going to do it down here in Utah County. It will be for all levels of fitness. You don't have to be, we're not hiking Timp, and we're not hiking the Y, because let's be honest, that is not an easy hike. I mistakenly thought that would be really fun to do with my little baby twins several years ago, who are now ginormous. It's not easy. So we won't be hiking the Y. It will be easy, and they're going to have treats and fun stuff, and I'll let them talk about that a little bit more later. And I think that those are all of my announcements that I had to get done. So that's May 14th. So mark your calendars for that. We'll do it in the morning. All right, let's keep going here. All right, so if you missed it, yesterday we had a broker panel, and hopefully a lot of you were able to attend, but it was about protecting our commissions, which we know is really, really hard right now. And I think for a lot of us, it was a really good reminder, and it was really nice to hear that we are worth it. We do deserve to get paid for the work that we do. We talked about different scenarios, such as what do I do if a friend or family asks me to discount? What are different things that I can say to combat that? What if somebody says, well, if I'm going to have you help me buy and help me sell, then I'd like a discount on one side or the other. So we have different scenarios that we went through, and we got a lot of really good information. I love hearing from other people and how they handle things. Some of the things, like my personality, I would never say it. I would never say it, but you know, I could take a tidbit of what they said and I could make it me and make it something that I really felt comfortable with. And I know we had a lot of our agents on the line, and it was really good. So here's a few of the things that were shared. So Linda Gear said, how are you going to know if you left money on the table if you didn't allow someone to fully market their home? So that was in response to, you know, somebody saying, well, my home's going to sell in 3 days. I don't really need marketing. Yes, you actually do. And how much money could you be leaving on the table if you don't have the marketing that that we offer to our clients? I love this idea Hannah Cutler shared. She kept talking about the illusion of a discount. So a lot of times our people will say to us, well, I'm going to go over here because they'll give me a discount. Well, what does it actually cost you to work with a discount broker or somebody who discounts their services as well? So we have this illusion of a discount, but in the end, once we go through the whole process and we talk about the lack of marketing and the lack of people through your front door and the lack of protection as you are going through the negotiation and the contract to close period, what is it actually going to cost you? And are you actually leaving money on the table? So I loved that idea. And then Hannah also said, all the seller sees is the end of the transaction. Have you ever heard, my neighbor's house sold in 2 days? Well, do you know if your neighbor left money on the table? Could your neighbor have made 10,000 more? It's not about the 2 days that it took to go under contract. It's about the details in between the contract and close. Did I get you the best offer? Did I save you money on services, etc.? And then I loved what Michael had to say too. Get comfortable with you. Know your value and how much your time and knowledge is worth. Once you go and discount your value, it becomes your mindset and your business model. And I think that's really true, you guys. Our mindset is so important in everything we do, but it does become your business model because people will refer you and say, oh, you should use so-and-so at Coldwell Banker. She does amazing, and she only charged me 1.5%. So now that next client calls you with the understanding that they're also going to get a discount. But something to think about is the mindset that we get, that we start to believe that we are only worth a 1.5% commission. or we start to believe that, well, if I'm going to do a buy and a sell, yeah, they're right, I really should give them a discount. Why should you give them a discount? It's actually 2 transactions, and each transaction is a challenge, right? But those are the things that we're being asked. And so it's important to have our tools sharp, know what our responses should be, handle those objections up front, and be bold and be confident in what you bring to the table. Know what your value is and know that you are worth it. And I loved Stacy said, when we go in to have surgery, which is, you know, so risky and so important to each of us, we don't call the surgeon and say, now, what kind of a deal can you get me on this surgery, right? And I also talked about, you know, it's important to us, it's important enough to us when we find a new hairdresser, or we need someone to mow our lawn, or we need a housekeeper, that we reach out and we get referrals. And we don't always really care how much they charge. It's more of what kind of a job are they going to do. And so those are the things that we need to focus on, with real estate being their biggest investment for most people. That's really what our focus should be on, is not necessarily what you're going to pay me, but what am I going to put in your pocket, and what are the services I'm going to provide. And it's really a challenge right now when you get asked over and over and over, are you going to discount? It's a challenge to stand up and be firm and have that be your mindset, that you deserve it, that you're worth it. So it was a great panel. And it wasn't recorded, but if we receive any information or notes, a lot of times Stacy takes notes and sends them out. I certainly will send those off to you guys. Okay, I'm going to show you a fun little video called The Coldwell Banker Way. It's just about a minute and a half. Talks about what it's like to be an agent at Coldwell Banker.
What is the one thing every Coldwell Banker agent has in common? A smile. That's because agents are more satisfied at Coldwell Banker than any other real estate company. And what makes our agents so satisfied? Well, we have a 115-year history of doing things the right way, the Coldwell Banker Way. It starts with a deep appreciation for the power of home. Across 40 countries and 100,000 people, our agents understand this place better than anyone. It's not just the biggest investment our clients make in their lives. Home is where life happens, where we fall in love, where we become who we are. Coldwell Banker agents guide hundreds of thousands of people home every year, and that's something to smile about. The Coldwell Banker Way also means providing our people the resources they depend on. Technology shown to make agents twice as productive. Learning proven to help agents earn more listings and higher sales volume. Real estate's most effective advertising, and a 13% higher sales price than the industry average. What's not to love? There are countless reasons why Coldwell Banker is a career move you can really feel good about. Discover what happens when you're backed by a world-renowned real estate company and a one-of-a-kind community. Here, you have a home where you can be who you are and where you can open the door to a brilliant future. Welcome in.
So there's your little rah-rah for the day. And I know I'm so glad you guys are with Coldwell Banker. I'm so glad I'm with Coldwell Banker. I just think it's a fantastic company. And here's some numbers that kind of share that. They, in the very small fine print, they tell you where they got all these numbers, but they covered most of it in that video, and I think it's awesome. So great company to be with. So many resources, you guys. We're here for you, and we have so many resources that we can access to help you really have the real estate career that you dream of. Just a reminder of our Just One More. We want everybody in our office to make a commitment to get one more listing than they had last year. And we are continuing to reach out to get commitments from each of you. And we're going to have a thermometer here in the office that we're going to track all our progress and have some fun reminders and activities throughout the year as we move on to help and encourage and give you tools and resources to get that new listing. So we have some information on the listing concierge. There is an option to trade your brochures in for a longer boost ad. So it would, rather than having the brochures that you have in your listing, if you don't want that, you'd rather have more online representation, then you can do an extension of the boost ad. So prior to this, listing concierge would have to connect with you directly, and then it took a little bit longer, was maybe a little more frustrating and clunky than we wanted it to be. So you should be able to do this right when you order your listing concierge packet. It will give you the option to opt out of the brochure. You can see right here on the screen. It will give you the option to opt out of the brochure and then to do the extension on your boost ad. So watch for that. And there's 2 times it will remind you, just in case you miss it the first time. So definitely something to look for. Okay, you guys, we have our global luxury certification. So everyone in our office can access the global luxury tools, but not everyone can be global luxury certified. I mean, everyone can be global luxury certified. You just aren't automatically because you're with Coldwell Banker. So there's a couple of times a year that they do a global luxury certification, and we have one coming up in June. It will be June 22nd through the 23rd. It will be all online this year. This is a great opportunity for you agents who need to complete your certification. So to become global luxury certified and be able to advertise as a global luxury certified agent, you need to complete the certification course, and then you have to do a certain number of deals that qualify as global luxury. So we definitely want to have as many of you certified as global luxury agents as we possibly can. And I know we've had several agents that have been doing that and have taken advantage of this class. The certification really talks a lot, the classes at the certification really talk a lot about how to deal with higher end clients, what are different resources you're going to hear from different global luxury agents across the United States. This isn't just Utah, this will be throughout the US. So if becoming global luxury certified is something that you are interested in, then you definitely want to sign up for this. The cost is $495 because it's all online. You don't have to pay for travel expenses. So that's great. And oops. It includes, let me read this to you so I don't say anything wrong, networking opportunities, surprise special guests, and a 2-year membership to the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing. It's a virtual course. And if you are interested, let me know. I will send the link out so that you can just go ahead and get registered on your own. And if you aren't sure if you're global luxury certified, or you're not sure where you are in the process, then please reach out to me, and me and Michelle, myself and Michelle, will get that figured out. Make sure that you've got that certification if that's something you're interested in. All right, guaranteed rate. I know we have, I think, the whole crew on today. Do you guys want to take a minute and give us an update on the mortgage world?
Now?
We can hear you, John.
Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. Just wanted to get it there. So this is John. How are you guys? Just wanted to let you know we do have Teresa on here, who you've met before. And then we also have Katie on here. We wanted to introduce Katie. She is now a certified loan officer, learning the ropes down here in Orem, down in the office. So want you to know that she is here and available for you, and great personality and lots of fun, and would love to meet you. We're excited about some of the activities that we have coming up with you guys. I did have Michelle send out just a flyer again. It's just one of the new flyers that just came out this week. Welcoming back spring market. We know we kind of haven't lost any market here in Utah. It's still a little crazy, but please know, as I said last week, I am seeing FHA offers get accepted. We do see a lot of issues with appraisals these days, but you know what? A lot of times that's better for your clients because they are coming in a little bit lower. Even though they've offered more, they're coming in lower, and we're able to get the loans approved. Do know that if you guys have anybody that you want to get pre-approved up front with the to-be-determined property address, we basically feel that that's almost like a cash offer. We already have them totally approved, income, everything's underwritten, and basically they just need an address to fit the box, and they can close in usually 8 to 11 days. So I know that's powerful. So, you know, a lot of times we're seeing is people who can close faster, And I've seen a lot more that they can close faster, but they want that rent back. So, just remember, it's totally fine to rent back for 60 days on conventional, and usually FHA is 90 days. So that is something that isn't typically a problem. So just know we're here to help you guys. If you want to come down and see the new office, we'd love to have you down. We're wandering around, and I know Clay's busy trying to get more people hired on, and we should have some fun activities coming up. I'm excited for pizza and for some other things that we're going to have doing.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. And that's great. For those who can't be a cash offer, to be able to close that quickly is fantastic. Yeah. So gives them a little more leverage, which we all need. Our buyers need as much leverage as they can get right now. So awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, we have a video from Ty. I'm going to skip over that. If Ty is on the line, I'm so sorry, Ty. I love you, but I'm running out of time. And I will post this on our Facebook page so you can all see this. But Ty is a great resource for home warranties, so definitely reach out to her. All right, we're skipping ahead a little bit here. I just want to take a moment to honor the picture that they posted with Stacy's YouTube video. She's thrilled, I'm sure. But let's hear what she has to say. Let's see what we've got coming up. She's actually going to talk to us about AMP in this video. If you are looking for a way to get your business up and running, AMP is the answer. So let's hear what she has to say.
Hi, everybody. This short video is an overview of what the AMP program is all about at Coldwell Banker. So our next session of AMP, or Achieve Maximum Production, will be starting on Monday, May the 3rd, and it's going to run for a total of 8 sessions in the month of May, Mondays, Thursdays, for 4 weeks. It runs from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. From 1 to 4 is course content with a couple of breaks in there. And then from 4 to 5 will be business building. You'll be lead generating. You'll be working on adding people to that database and to that pipeline, and also getting coaching from our local brokers on doing just that. So again, 8 sessions starting May 3rd during the month of May, Mondays and Thursdays from 1 to 5. AMP is broken out in this way. The first week is goal setting, mindset, what drives you, getting yourself in the place to build your business and start building that database and getting in the right mindset to do so. Week number 2 is lead generation, focusing on the sources of lead generation. Maybe you've gotten off track. Maybe you've gotten out of the habit of using some of those tried and true methods of lead generation. So good reminders, good best practices around that. The third week is succeeding with sellers, improving your seller processes, getting better systems in place for working with sellers. And then 4th week is building with buyers and improving and getting better systems in place with your buyers. The AMP course is designed for agents at any level of their business, probably not brand new agents. This is probably better suited for agents that have been in the business at least a few months and have gotten things started. For brand new agents, we have Boot Camp, which is piloting this month, but will be starting in the summer regular every single month. But AMP is designed for seasoned agents that want to take their business to the next level. They feel like maybe they're in a slump, they've gotten off track, or agents that are fairly new to the business and really want to get things amped up. One of the best parts about AMP is an opportunity to powwow together, to share best practices, to kind of spur each other on and support each other, and get to meet some of your peers in the business. I really look forward to you signing up for AMP if that's something that works for you. Also look for every single month, you've got an opportunity at Outlist, Outlast, or Buyer Strategies. Those are a deeper dive into weeks 3 and 4 of AMP. They spend a little bit more time on each of the elements of working with sellers and working with buyers, so look for those in your Sales Pro calendar as well. AMP will be offered every month throughout the rest of the year. Sometimes I'll be training it, sometimes it will be my counterpart in either California or Arizona or Colorado or Texas. I'm really excited that we're partnering up on some of these AMP classes to bring in agents from a couple of other areas together to really get some good best practice and idea shares. So I look forward to seeing you in AMP. Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.
Awesome. All right. And here is a look at some of our upcoming classes that we have. You can see we've got a lot going on. So if there's something specific you're looking for and you don't know what the name of the class would be or exactly what you're looking for, please reach out to me and I will see if we can track down a class that helps you, or whatever training we can that helps you achieve what you're looking for. All right, I want to talk about our podcast. I don't know how many of you guys listen to this. I've listened to it a couple of times now. Sarah's raising her hand. Awesome. I really loved it. So I'm a big believer in mindset. The email I sent out had that picture of Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. The truth is that our brain believes whatever we tell it. Our brain doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. So whatever we're feeding it, that's where we go. That becomes our truth, right? Whether it's wrong or right, that's what our brain will believe. And so one of the things that this podcast talks about, well, the main thing that it talks about is that we're still selling houses. And if you look at the numbers of how many homes have sold on the MLS, we are at or above where we have been in the previous years. So homes are still selling. And so how we're looking at the market right now might be our biggest problem. One of the examples that they used was looking at a tree that has no leaves on it and saying, well, that tree doesn't have any leaves on it. And this is a tree in the springtime, right? So a tree at the beginning of spring, it has no leaves on it. But you know what? If you wait around, eventually a leaf is going to pop up. And in a couple of months, there'll be a lot of leaves that are on it. And so it's all in how you frame it and how you look at things. He said that we all have a mantra that we tell ourselves every day about business, right? And right now, what most of us are saying is there is no inventory. So we do have a mantra, whether we think we have one or not. We have something that we tell ourselves every single day about this market. And right now, we really are saying, these are the things I'm hearing. Oh man, the market is so tough for buyers right now. Now, that's not saying that none of this is true, but that's what we focus on. The things that we tell ourselves over and over, those are the things that we're going to focus on, and those are the things we're going to see. So we're saying things like, oh, the market is so hard right now. Oh, there's no inventory out there. Oh, there's no good deals to be had. Those are the kinds of things that we're saying over and over as we go throughout our day in real estate. But the truth is that this really is, and we all know this is an amazing time to be a seller, right? And a lot of us have people that are saying, well, I would sell my house, but I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to buy a house. And so how do we counteract that? How do we change our mindset? How do we become a listing agent? So those of you who listen to this, I would love for you to share your thoughts on some of your takeaways. I have 2 pages of notes that I took that I can share, but I would love to hear, have you guys share with us some of the things that that were your aha moments or things that you really took away. So feel free to unmute and share away. Sarah? Sarah made the mistake of outing herself and telling me she'd listened.
I did listen, but I'm not an experienced agent. So what do I have to offer? I don't know. Anyway. So, I do believe, for me, when I was listening to it, I do believe in completely about a mindset, about like how a perspective of thing, and it's whatever you focus on, you're going to find. And so for me, it's just, I feel like if you focus on that there's a down market and that there's no one, when you look at the countless of homes there are people that need to sell, and there are people that need to move, and there are people that have situations going on. When you look at the Ford questions, they've got family situations, they have a job, but we're just not looking for those things. So if you're constantly looking on the fact like this is not going to happen, it's not going to happen because you created that reality. So I've just kind of gone into the mindset that, I'm new. And so for me to say I'm going to get one more listing, it's easy because I'm brand new and I'll get one more listing. But the reality though is all of us have been in a situation, regardless of circumstances, where we need to move, or we need a different situation, or we finally want to downsize. So I think it's there. It's just that we're just not looking for it because we're focusing on negative instead of positive. That's what I thought.
I love that. And one of the things that they use as an example is, how do we normally find listings? Normally we create a hot sheet, right? And we wait, we check the MLS every morning. Right now we might check it 3 or 4 times a day. So we're on the MLS, we're looking, but we are waiting until that listing pops up on the MLS. And then it's us and a couple of hundred other people that are heading to that listing to take a look at it, right? And so the way we have done business is maybe not the most effective way that we could do business right now. So they suggest looking for different ways. And one of the best ways is through your database, through your sphere of influence. Now, this only works if you're actually in flow or in touch with all of the people in your database. But being able to call them and connect with them and ask them, you know, and Sarah mentioned this, the Ford questions, which is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And if you're having these conversations with people, then perhaps you're going to find out that somebody actually does need to sell, but they are afraid to sell because they're afraid that they're not going to find anything. But what an amazing time to be a seller. John mentioned this too. We are seeing sellers that are leasing back for 30, 60, 90. I've even seen 6 months. The sellers are leasing back at an incredible rate that gives them time to either build a house, find a house, but be able to accomplish what they want to accomplish as well, through being able to negotiate and manage these details as a seller. I've never seen this in my career in 20 years as a real estate agent, that sellers have had this much power. So looking at it differently, coming at it differently, how am I going to find these listings? So use your database as a tool to match make. So maybe you know somebody who needs to move up, who's ready for that second home, that bigger home for their family. And maybe you know somebody else that's ready to downsize, or that's ready to move on to their next size home, right? And so if you can make those matches by having those conversations with people in your database and really becoming a resource to help them find those things, then that can be a fantastic way to get your people what they're looking for. So we have to look at where we're finding the inventory differently. A couple of other things that they suggested. So they talked about calling other agents. So we have exclusive look at Coldwell Banker where you can post your listings. So if you have a seller who's nervous and doesn't want to necessarily sell right away, but maybe they want to test the waters, or maybe they want to see what the interest would be if they priced it at a certain point. Exclusive look is a great way for you to do that. That keeps you in compliance with the MLS and NAR requirements. So we've got exclusive look, but what about reaching out to agents in the industry? We all complain that there's tons of agents, right? Everybody knows an agent. Well, you all know agents that are outside of Coldwell Banker. Why don't you start picking up the phone and calling them and saying, hey, I have a buyer that's looking for this, or do you have a buyer that would want this, or do you have a seller or a potential seller that has a home like this? There are lots of ways you can go about that, but reaching out to other agents and making that part of your daily phone calls. So reach out to 2 or 3 or 4 agents every day and say, hey, what have you got coming up? Let me see if we can make a match through our, with our shared skills. So I love that idea. And then the other thing that they talked about is, I love this. He said, there are thousands of deals being done. And he was specifically talking about one person who said, I want 30 listings. Okay. He said, there are thousands of deals being done, and all I want is 30 of those. So is it hard to believe that out of thousands of listings, if your goal is 30, or maybe last year you did 12 and this year you want to do 13 with our Just One More initiative, is it so hard to believe that you would be able to get 13 of those listings out of the thousands that are going to take place this year? Absolutely not. You can do it. But it's all about your mindset. It's about what you're looking for. So here are some ideas for affirmations. And if any of you have anything to say, please unmute, speak up, raise your hand. Here are some great affirmations that they suggested. I am a master of creating inventory. And remember, with affirmations, you have to say it every single day. This is something that you say. I've heard people that say it over and over every day. Ninja recommends writing it down on a notepad every day. Whatever your affirmation is, you write it down every single day, over and over and over. So I'm a master of creating inventory. I see inventory everywhere I go. And how about one as simple as, I am a listing agent, right? We have a lot of agents who will just say, oh, I never get listings. Well, if that's what you're telling yourself, then you're not looking for opportunities to list. And you're right, you won't be a listing agent. So this idea of creating this positive mindset and creating those affirmations every day and looking for new ways, look for different ways outside of the box besides just going to the MLS, and looking for that inventory. And on your buyer's behalf, are we really doing everything that we can to help our buyer find a home? Are we reaching into our database to see if somebody has a home that they would sell, or if somebody knows of somebody else, a friend or a family member who's talked about selling their house? Have we knocked doors? Have we gone to neighborhoods that we know our buyer would be interested in living in and gone and knocked on those doors? And I've heard of agents making verbal offers right there. Like, my client will pay you X amount of dollars for your house if you'll sell it to them. So there are a lot of ways that you can do this, but it really all starts with the mindset. So thoughts, questions, concerns?
Hey, this is Christy. Can I make a comment real quick?
Please do.
Hi. Yeah, so I had listened to the podcast and it seemed to come at the right moment for me. Just, I think the narrative or the dialogue of the market right now is just such a downer, and it's hard to not get so discouraged, you know? And so when I had listened to this, I really try to take it to heart. I mean, one of the other principles of Ninja is what you focus on expands, right? And that having that abundance mindset is super important and can make a huge difference, even just in how you feel every day and how you approach your searches and working with buyers. And so I have done the affirmation of, mine is just simply, I'm a master at creating and finding inventory in this market. So it's a little different than what they suggested, but sometimes I make Erica say it when we're discouraged, and she doesn't like that very much, but it does seem to help in just trying to turn, again, that narrative or that dialogue that we have about, oh, this market's so hard. And it is, but really, again, just, I can't emphasize enough, just when you adjust your mindset and, you know, you have that abundance mentality, you're able to see things that maybe you wouldn't before, because you see exactly what you are focusing on. And if I'm focusing on no inventory, or there's nothing for my buyers or whatever, you know, it really is a downer. So it's been a helpful thing for the Porch Light team. We've tried, even though Erica hates it, you know, but we say, you know, I am a master at finding and creating inventory. Everybody say it. It's awesome. I love it.
I love it. I actually was thinking we should make everybody get up right now, assume the power pose, and say it. Right? Do you guys know what the power pose is? Everybody stand up wherever you are. I'm going to do it even though this is a less flattering view. Okay, I'm going to back up here. Stand up. Put your hands on your hips, right? And we're going to say, what did you say, Christy? I'm a master of finding and creating inventory.
I am a master at creating and finding inventory. Yeah.
All right. I want us all to say it 3 times together. Christy, will you lead us out?
Yeah, sure. Ready? Everybody, we got this, right? Here we go. I am a master at creating
and finding inventory.
Again, ready? I am a master at finding and creating inventory. Last time, I am a master at finding and creating inventory.
Good job, you guys. Did Erica do it?
No. Come over here, Erica. I told you, she has a hard time. She thinks I'm lame. But hey, we put 3 buyers under contract last week. That's a miracle, you guys. A miracle. So
that is awesome.
Okay, Erica's gonna do it. Ready?
I am a master of finding and creating inventory.
Yay!
Maybe finding and creating would be accurate.
Now, it looks like Roger has a hand up. Roger.
Well, I just want to say you can find it and create it, but you got to list it.
Well, if you can match make, you don't even have to list it, right?
Roger, you can say your affirmation however you want. It is yours. That was just the one that I used. So if you want to add this to that, I think that's awesome.
You can do, I will find it and I will list it, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, I will find it and I will list it. I think affirmations can feel really uncomfortable at first, and maybe for some people forever, but we know it works. And so telling yourself, feeding yourself those positive things and giving yourself the encouragement that you need to be successful every single day to keep on going. I just think that we can't say enough about it. So there's a few quotes that I put on here that I really loved. This one right here in the middle, when you can all of a sudden get your head wrapped around that there is inventory there, you see it everywhere. What else did I really love? One agent said, I'm going to fix this inventory problem all by myself. And they are exceeding their goals from last year as far as finding inventory. And you're seeing exactly what you are looking for. So I just think it's so powerful. Our minds are so, so powerful. So thank you everybody for doing that with us. And we'd love to hear your ideas. If you do something and it works, or you are going to try something out and you want us to hold you accountable for it, throw it up on our Facebook page. Say, hey, today I'm going to call 5 new agents and see if they have inventory, right? Or I'm going to call my sphere of influence and I'm going to see if I can make some matches today. Or I did this and it worked really well. Let's throw it out there and let's make sure that we're feeding each other with a lot of positivity and opportunities for all of us to succeed. All right. Well, let's
Holly,
cruise.
sorry,
Yes.
Holly has her hand up.
Holly, fire away.
I have a question, and maybe somebody can give me some pointers. I've had a couple of California buyers in the last few months, and I haven't had any problem. They haven't had any problem wanting to just go, over asking, not an issue. But I have 2 kind of local to Utah County buyers right now that I can't even get them to want to do asking price. And so how do I convince them that it's okay to, how do I talk them into putting in a competitive offer and not being afraid of it? I don't even know if I should be doing that, but if I should be doing that, I don't know how to get them there.
Okay, I have an idea. This is Adana Geddes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I would have them write up their best offer, and then once they feel the rejection, then they'll start writing competitive offers.
Wait, have them do what?
Have them write up their best offer. Okay, if you want to write an offer on this one, great. Let's go ahead and write up an offer, right? Get you familiar with the contract, and all we can do is submit the best we can. And then when their offer isn't accepted, then they'll realize, oh, I've got to be a little more. What is it going to take for me to be more competitive? People are competitive by nature. And I think sometimes they just have to be, if they're looking to really buy, then once they get their feet wet, they'll continue to improve and improve. That's been my experience.
So kind of just, instead of trying to talk them into it ahead of time, which is kind of what I've tried to do, and we still didn't win, but instead of letting them, or trying to talk them into it ahead of time, let them just learn trial and error.
Yeah. Right? That's all you can do. All you can do is help them do their best.
Yeah.
And then if they're not successful, then maybe they'll come to you and be like, okay, what is it going to take for us to win? If they really want to buy or sell, they'll start offering better offers.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Adana's point is really good in the sense that you're not the one that's rejecting them, right? So you're the one that's being their advocate, and you're the person like, okay, we're going to put in this offer because this is what your best offer is. But they're being rejected by the buyer. And so it's not you that's saying, hey, you're not doing this. Let them find out for themselves. It's kind of like a toddler. It's like, that's hot. That's hot. And then they're going to touch it like, okay, see, you burned your hand. It's hot. So it's the same thing, but you're not necessarily the bad guy. You're actually the advocate. So it still puts you in a position of power, and it puts them in a situation where they're getting the lesson that they need.
I guess I am afraid, though. I don't want to put them at risk, because then I feel like I'm not, really their friend. I don't want to put them at risk, but I almost feel like I have to at a certain point.
Why are you feeling like you're putting them at risk? If you can put in offer, and you can talk after something's been accepted, and the seller can say, well, you were number 12 in the list, then they'll see something that's legitimate so that they know that they're not. even in a competitive situation for what the offers are.
Well, I think the Utah buyers feel like the California buyers, like I said, they have no problem. They're kind of aware of everything. The Utah buyers feel like you're going to make me go 50 over, 30 over, whatever, 20 over, and then the market's going to crash and then I'm in trouble. That's the perspective, is that it's going to crash and then they're in trouble.
Well, I think that I think maybe reframing what you're saying I'm talking them into making a competitive offer. And I think we have to start with educating and letting them know, look, this is the market that we're in, and these are the offers that are being accepted. And how do you feel about that? Are you comfortable with that? And buyers who buy, right? And what do they buy? They buy every relevant step along the way. And so if you're educating them and you're telling them, this is what offers that are being accepted are looking like, and even if they have a rejection before, they might take a couple of rejections before they click in, but get information on every single one of those deals and say, tell me what the deal looked like, the offer that you accepted. What did that look like? And then you can share that with your clients and say, this is what we lost out to. And if they continue to make offers that are never going to be accepted, then I think you have to step back and say, okay, is this really a real buyer? Because what does a real buyer do? A real buyer takes every relevant step along the way. And a relevant step is writing a competitive offer. And so if they're not writing a competitive offer, then there might be something else that's holding them back. A fear, maybe they're not quite ready. But I would say then you probably need to get into a conversation about that. Okay, there's a couple of hands that are up. Pauline, and then Joey, and then Christy.
So one of the tools I got from Erin McBride. Thank you, Erin. And basically, in helping educate my buyers on offers, you look at the house that you're wanting to make an offer on, and then you look at the comparables on that house, and then you, within like 90 days, and you create a ratio. And Carrie's talked about this as well. You basically look at the original list price, and you look at the sold price, and you put you average them up of your comparables, and you make a ratio of the solds over list. And it's usually, I mean, it's been like 5% over or 2% over. It depends on where it is. It varies. But then that sort of shows, you can show your buyer the average deal is going 5% over list price. And then you can show them the stats from the MLS that will also show that people are paying the median over list to sale ratio is above list price. And so it gives you a target, it gives you an idea of where to start, and it's been helpful.
Awesome. Joey.
Yeah, and honestly, I'll even echo what Helene said and add to it. I put in 15 offers for my buyer that we finally just got under contract this week. And I did exactly the same thing that Helene did, but I took it a step further. And any offer, or I looked at all solds in the area when we were trying to come up with a great purchase price. Looked at all solds in the area, and if it was sold last year, I would actually bring that value forward to today's money, because we're in unprecedented times where home values are increasing, upwards of 25%, which, you break it down month by month, that's basically 2% growth each month. So what a home sold for 6 months ago isn't what a home's going to sell for today, if it's the identical home. Another thing that I did is, dang it, just lost my train of thought. Yeah, never mind, I lost it.
Well, so can I ask, so are you seeing 2% a month increase?
Depending on the area. Orem, Northern Utah County, yeah. Provo, no. I did about 1.5% a month growth on it, just because that was just what I was seeing and everything. But yeah, you can easily do that and go forward from there. Oh, I remember my thought. I told my buyers to play the long game. What you're paying for a house today is more than what it's worth. Yes. But with growth rates right now, who knows, in 6 months, 12 months, it's going to be worth more probably than what you're paying for it right now. And you're going to have built-in equity, even though you feel like you're overpaying right now.
Yeah, I like that.
I would say too, don't say you might be paying more than it's worth. You might be paying more than it appraises for, right? Or more than
that's even better.
For. Because worth is defined as how much somebody's willing to pay for it, right? So yeah, thank you, Joey. Okay, Christy.
Yeah, so Erica and I use that same strategy as Helene and Joey's talked about as well, but we do 30 days instead of 90 days. And that's helped. Like when we go and show houses now, like, I don't know if you can see that. My camera's like being really sluggish, but we'll have it there with us when we show the houses. If we have time, we try and have that ready. So let's say we're showing 4 houses, we'll have the percentage over that house is going for in that area from the last 30 days. And so we can have that conversation in the house of what it would take possibly to win that home if they love it. And that's really helped a lot in kind of putting it in perspective. And I think, Holly, sometimes, maybe they're not ready for this market and they just need to have that, realization. But the other thing that we do is we have a little handout that we've prepared that, I shouldn't say handout, whatever, just like a thing that we send over that lets the buyer know what we need and information we need in order to make an offer. And on that, we have some multiple offer strategies. And so we have it explained. This is what we're seeing is winning offers in this market. And we want you to have a conversation together and discuss where your risk tolerance is and which of these strategies are you willing to employ in your next offer. And then we have a Zoom meeting, or next time we're together, we can go through those strategies and talk about them. And they're familiar with them enough because they've read through it that we can then kind of craft an offer that's really competitive. And one thing that I know you guys all know is, obviously you have to treat the offer like a package. There's so many different points and things that you can make sure you emphasize when you're writing an offer and in your cover letter or your email or whatever you're doing, to just make sure that you cover all your bases when you submit an offer. And so that worksheet or that handout that we send out helps create those conversations, and also for us to determine our buyer's risk tolerance and what they're willing to do and not to do. Does that make sense? And so if you were to create something like that explains, this is what's winning offers, where is your risk tolerance, what are you willing to do? And then if you have data to back it up, if they've been looking for a while, go to a home that they like that maybe they didn't write an offer on, or if they did, and say, okay, this is what this house sold for. I talked to the agent and this is the strategies that were done, right? And so then again, there's just that education of something that they've seen, and so it's real. So anyways, hopefully that made sense.
Thank you.
You guys, that was great. Adana, Helene, Joey, Christy, thank you so much for sharing. And Holly, thanks for being vulnerable and sharing something you're frustrated with. We can't help each other if we don't know what we're looking for. So I appreciate that, you guys. I love that. All right, well, we're out of time, but I'm going to zip through some things real quick. We've got our June Wealth Builder Expo with Susie Orman. I remember her from my days of Oprah Winfrey when I was home with little babies watching Oprah every day. Really cool. I'm excited to hear what she has to say. And the title of her presentation will be Take Control of Your Money. So that'll be June 17th. So mark your calendar for that. And then we want to wish a happy birthday to Miss Kathy Campbell. Her birthday was last week. We welcomed Malik. And then we're going to run through our top 50. We've got Christy and Erica, who were number 20 in Utah in March. Rod and Shelley, number 25 in Utah in March. Cindy Pennington, who is number 8 in Utah in March and number 14 in Utah year to date. Kathy Campbell, who's number 10 in Utah month to date and number 15 in Utah year to date. Karen Curtis, who is holding strong at number 18 in Utah. Brian Olson at number 28 in March. and Carrie Dye, who is number 35 in March. So you all, congratulations to all of you. We're going to have our top 50 lunch next week. So hopefully you all got your invites and you can come and join us. Okay. Don't forget our golf tournament, Thursday, June 24th. We're scheduling right now with Sleepy Ridge Golf Course to do a little golf tutorial for anyone who wants to join us. And we're going to call that good for today. We'll get everything else later or on the Facebook page. So with that, thank you, you guys, for all your great sharing. My favorite parts about sales meeting are all the information and idea shares that you guys are willing to do. So it's great to have you all on board and your abundance mentality. I love it. Let's remember to change our affirmations. Figure out what that affirmation is that works for you. I am a listing agent. I see inventory everywhere I go. I'm a master of creating inventory. Whatever works for you. Let's change our mindset and let's get out there and let's kill it in April and the coming months. So you guys are fantastic. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.